Welcome to the Big Five for Life. I'm Dr. Fumi Rachel Barr, the CEO, and we are delighted to share with you our Pec, which is the peer evaluation component, a ridiculously wonderful tool. And here is John P. Strelecki, the creator of the Big Five for Life.
Hey everybody, thank you very much for taking a few minutes to look at the demo of Pec. Fumi and I have been getting a lot of requests ever since this book. It's the sequel to the Big Five for Life. It's called the Big Five for Life Continued. And ever since that book came out, we've been getting a lot of requests from you asking for information about Pec. And so we thought, hey, why don't we just put together a quick demo of Pec, a quick video about it, to make that available for you. So first of all, I want to thank everybody who are fans of the Big Five for Life books. This year, we crossed the 3 years in a row that book has been the #1 business and leadership book. So thank you. You guys are rock stars out there for recommending it and passing it along to others. So let's talk about Pec and where this came to be. Pec, as Fumi mentioned, stands for Peer Evaluation Component. And what that means is that everybody in the organization evaluates everybody in the organization, literally top to bottom. The janitor evaluates the CEO evaluates the janitor, and everybody in between. This was created by an organization just outside of Montreal called DLGL. And for those of you that have read the Big Five for Life Continued, you know DLGL well. They are the company that I profile in that book. Amazing company, amazing group of people led by an amazing leader. And they have literally won every award you can win for best place to work, best company, most successful. Their metrics are off the charts. They have less than 1% turnover, average tenure of employees 16 years, literally by every metric you can measure. This is an incredible, incredible organization. And they credit their success in a large part to Pec. And so that's why this is so spectacular. Equally spectacular is that the CEO of the company, Jacques Gannett, has enabled us to bring Pec to you. And so that's what we're going to demo today, is the way in which you can use Pec in your organization. So I'm going to bring up a screenshot of that. And Fumi, if you could explain to people kind of what each person is evaluating each other on, the description of it.
Well, first of all, everyone gets an email and a link. It is completely anonymous. And what people are scoring is not lifestyle, not work product, but instead, what we're sharing is evaluating goodwill, trying hard, espousing the group objectives, being pleasantly available to help others, being a team player, having a genuine interest in the client's service, paying attention to quality, and basically the things we all want to espouse as an organization.
And so when somebody clicks on that link, as Fumi mentioned, it is anonymous, and that's one of the key features here, is that the LGL, over using this for 25 years, has learned that the ability to give genuine, honest feedback is key. So they click on this, they give their anonymous feedback, and this pops up. It's just an arrangement by alphabetical and these radio buttons, and the person just goes through and click, 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 click all the way down the screen. It takes less than 2 minutes to do as many as up to 100 names. The ranking methodology, the values are right here on the left to help them. Super fast, super easy. The results get aggregated, and let me show you what that looks like. This is what the CEO sees when he or she logs in and sees the results from what the everybody scored as. So this is what it looks like. This is the quarterly snapshot view. You've got it arranged by name, so last name, first name, average score per person, change from previous, so how well did this person do this quarter compared to the previous quarter, and then contribution. By the way, all these fields are sortable, so let me do that. Let me show you what it looks like. Let's say I want to see my lowest leading up to my highest performing folks. So I can see that Roger Cliffstone at a 6.67 average is actually costing me as an organization over $31,000. So this is calculated very simply by taking the revenue of the organization, dividing by the number of employees, and saying, okay, an average person producing at an average rate would produce at that average pace. And then the system figures out quickly, okay, well, Roger's well below average. Based on how much he's below average, this is the impact of the organization. So this is fantastic, because a lot of times when a leader is dealing with something, they know there's a problem, but they don't know how big the problem is. And because they don't know how big the problem is, they don't know the degree of effort that should be put to addressing the problem. And quite frankly, our brains are wired that we want to do the stuff that makes us feel better. So addressing a problem isn't necessarily where we're wired to go. When you see that someone like a Roger Cliffstone is actually costing your organization $31,000, now you know the scope of the problem and you're more motivated to take action. So what does action look like? Well, I'll show you. There was no action required on that quarter per se. Action means that somebody's score is either down or up by a 0.2. And so if they're down by more than 0.2, in the case of Roger Cliffstone this quarter, there's a red call button. And in this case, if you look at Greg Mills, he's up by 0.35. That's a green call button. So what does the call consist of? Well, the call is super easy. It's basically this. Roger, listen, I saw your score is down by 0.22. I don't know why. I'm sure you do. Please fix it. Hang up the phone. Greg, I saw your score is up by 0.35. I don't know why. I'm sure you do. Great job. Keep up the good work. Hang up the phone. So a very simple way of communicating to people. And these are the only two folks you would call. Everybody else, it's assumed it's going well if their scores aren't diverging by more than 0.2. So this is a quick and easy way for folks to see, for the CEO to see what's happening in their organization. I want to share super brief with you an example that was really, really powerful. Fermi and I were on a call, and the CEO said, you know what I see in here that is so unbelievably spectacular? Let me go back to the this previous quarter. He said, what this really shows me is the scenario that I cannot have happen. And he said, I can't have a Roger Cliffstone being a manager for an Elaine Gibson. And he said, because I can't have someone who has costed my organization $31,000, who is clearly an underperformer, being in charge of someone who is an absolute rock star as viewed by the entire organization. Because eventually Elaine Gibson working for a Roger Cliffstone, Elaine Gibson's going to leave. He said, and so now I'm stuck with a guy who's underperforming my organization by $31,000, and I just lost someone who is outperforming up to the tune of $22,000. He said that is the worst case scenario. So I know this was a super brief description, but we wanted to just give you a taste of Pec. For a full description where we will actually get on the phone with you, Fermi will, and walk you through more detail on this and the way it can help your organization, get in touch with us. And Fermi's got the way to do that. Thanks, everybody. It's always a great pleasure to have a chance to interact with you, and we love helping you. So Fermi, take it away.
Thank you for joining us. The number to call is 888-982-4434, and on the next screen, you'll see how to contact us by email. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.